Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Today, the game is different.
I want to gamble. Gambling is a very serious business. Is that clear?
Welcome to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you here, deep from the swamps of Jersey. We got a great show coming up for you. Well, we have something interesting for you coming up. We're going to talk with Stephen Dunham. Stephen is the CEO and president of a company called Play Globally. They have created something incredibly unique in the gaming marketplace. They have developed cutting-edge technology to create a game which combines sports betting and poker. Their website is playglobally.com, and they are offering free-to-play games like you've never seen before. When we come back, we are going to talk with Stephen Dunham, and he's going to tell us all about this incredible new platform called Play Globally. So stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
You, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore. Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Whoa! I think we got a show.
Oh, yeah, we got a show.
We definitely got a show.
Oh, yeah, there's a show. Hey, it's all about ratings, baby, and we got them.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you. I love doing this show because I get to talk to people who are on the cutting edge of gaming in this country. And Play Globally is certainly something unique and new and that you're definitely going to want to try. I want to tease you a little bit by saying if you like poker and if you like sports, you're definitely going to want to check out Play Globally. And to tell us all about Play Globally, we have its president and CEO on the line, Stephen Dunham. Stephen, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Thanks for coming on because I got to say, Play Globally is such a great idea and it's such a unique thing in the gaming world. And we're certainly going to talk all about it. But I want to ask about you. What is your background and how did you become the president and CEO of Play Globally?
Sure. Well, thank you. First off, thanks for having me on the show. And my career started back just right after college. I became an entrepreneur. I started a little chemical company in the water treatment business. We created a very special type of polymer that was used all around the world in water treatment plants. And that's when I came to understand that high-value recurring revenue companies and products are particularly interesting. And so we ran that company well. We grew it. We sold it. And then we were sitting around wondering what to do next, and we started to develop a new type of ranch rodeo sport, which I don't know how many rodeos you guys have back there. Have you ever been to a ranch rodeo?
Atlantic City actually has a rodeo. It's called the Cowtown Rodeo, so that's a big thing down there. So I haven't gone to it in a long time, but we that's our one and only rodeo that I know of.
Well, good. Well, at least you're in the game. So imagine this. Imagine you're sitting at a rodeo and you see a herd of cows. And on the cows are glued these giant playing cards, like the 10 of clubs and the ace of diamonds and so forth. So two-man rodeo team, two-man horseback team goes into this herd and as fast as they can cuts out their best 5-card poker hand on horseback. And so that was a product that we developed. There was quite a bit of alcohol and testing involved with the development of that. But we had a great time with it and decided, gosh, maybe we ought to kind of translate this over into the sports world and attach playing cards onto athletes and racehorses and race cars. And so that was the advent of what is now called Lucky Fans, and the company Play Globally is driving that product right now, as a matter of fact.
That idea is so great. I mean, were all you guys poker players and sports bettors and fantasy sports players, and you thought, hey, can we combine all this stuff and have a product that, which I think is simply amazing. Was that the kind of germination of that idea?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, with the development of what was the poker rodeo, you're really confined by arenas. It's a relatively small market. But all of a sudden, when you're putting electronic playing cards on every baseball player, every hockey player, every NFL player, and so forth, you have a global market. We are sports betting fans. We're fantasy sports fans. And by gosh, the demographics are exactly the same. So our demographics are people who love sports and who love wagering. And that aligns perfectly with the sports books that are out there.
Now, give us an overall idea of how you play the games on your site, Play Globally.
Sure. Yeah, so we do have our prototype available now. It is a prototype, and so we're constantly working on it. Our official release will be in a couple of weeks with Major League Baseball. But from any smartphone on any browser, you can go to luckyfans.app and you can sign up and go ahead and start playing the prototype. In a couple of weeks, we'll be releasing our first real money sweepstakes. And so the way that the game plays is you sign up and you choose a sport. So we're running the NBA. We ran the NBA Finals a couple of weeks ago.
Wow, okay.
We'll be running Major League Baseball in a couple of weeks. So you choose your sport, and then what appears is a leaderboard of all the players in Major League Baseball who are on the field. So you have 9 players from each team, 18 players total on the leaderboard. And each one of those players has a unique playing card attached to them. We deal you, as the user, 2 cards, just like in Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
And as the game plays, the players themselves move up and down a leaderboard based on their on-field performance. The top 5 athletes, those cards plus your 2 hole cards makes a 7-card poker hand. So you can get a royal flush, you can get 4 of a kind, you can get, all of the different poker hands that are available.
Stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
Drizzly makes it easy to shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor from wherever I am. I just open the app, find what I want, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes.
Drizzly. Ding dong, Drizzly.
Wake up, poker fans!
You're listening to House of Cards. Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Stephen Dunham, President and CEO of Play Globally. Now, we mentioned your website, playglobally.com, and when people go there, what can they expect to see? And let me urge everyone to go there, because you described your poker rodeo, and you have an incredible video of poker rodeo on there, and it's just, it's worth the visit to playglobally.com. So when we go to playglobally.com, what can people expect to see when they get there?
Yeah, Play Globally is an overview of the company. So it describes the sports that we're rolling out. It describes what the company's mission is and what our value is in the community. The website, luckyfans.app, is the functional website for our game. And so by going to luckyfans.app, on any smartphone, you can actually play our Lucky Fans game, and you can participate in our tournaments, which will start in about 2 weeks.
Tell us about the technology involved with the games, because quite frankly, I have never seen anything like this before. It's an absolutely unique platform, and it's an incredible experience for anyone who plays it. What did you go through to develop the technology involved in the games?
Yeah, well, the technology really stems from a top-notch group of entrepreneurs and visionaries and people who are very aligned in the sports betting space. So our advisory board consists of some of the best people in the world. You've got Susan Hensel. She's our first advisory board member from last year. She licensed over 100,000 entities and individuals in the sports betting space. You've got Stephen Crystal, who's an icon in Las Vegas. He's the brains behind SCCG. Ed Moed with Hot Paper Lantern. So, we assembled the best team that we could to develop the concept of the game. And as we developed that, we started driving new types of technologies. And what we found was that if we can understand what a player, what one of our users, one of our players desires most. So, for example, if they're clicking on the Padres game all the time, or they're clicking on the Boston Red Sox all the time, and they're following those types of teams, if we understand that and we can use machine learning, some AI, and contextualize our messaging and our fan engagement, then it creates a higher value contact with each of those users. So we've really leveraged technology to make our game more personalized and more elegant for all of our users. And with that comes a lot of value.
Now, all these games are free to play, correct?
That's right. Yep. All of our games are free to play. So there's a couple of advantages with that. The first advantage is that anybody can play without putting any money down, so there's very little friction. Right now with the prototype, there's no downloads or anything, so you can go straight to luckyfans.app on your smartphone and start playing it. What that does is reduces friction. It really lowers our cost of user acquisition. So when you have sports books that are used to paying out, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for user acquisition for the same demographics, in our case, our user acquisition cost is around the $10 range, sometimes less, depending on what sport we're looking at. So a much lower cost of user acquisition because we're free to play. And also, big bonus, we are legal everywhere, pretty much. I mean, we're legal in all 50 states, pretty much every jurisdiction in the whole world. So we're able to really position ourselves well for emerging markets. We're developing a very high-value database of users who, again, love sports and love wagering. And so for emerging markets like California or Georgia or Florida and others, it really positions ourselves very nicely for the next steps. And obviously, the partners that we're aligned with enjoy that positioning as well.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because on this show we always get a lot of people from the sports betting industry, sportsbook operators, iGaming operators, and they're not free to play. And I was going to ask you, how important are free to play games for the industry? I mean, where do you see these types of games fitting in for the industry overall?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, first off, anybody that, and there aren't very many, but my friends who know my betting expertise in sports betting can understand why I'm going free to play, because
Smart.
I hit about 1 out of 50 correctly. So in the sports betting world, you know, if you have a free to play, it's something that's inclusive that everybody can get behind. You know, there are many opportunities because it's free to play that align with the sports betting space. So we do have some things that are coming out, you know, down the road that are also unique. But the key thing is keeping it free to play, keeping it frictionless, keeping it fun. And oh, by the way, by adding a legal sweepstakes into it, you know, next year we have earmarked 6 figures in payouts.
Well,
so there's some really high value opportunities that are free to play, and yet people can win real money through our sweepstakes.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because just because these are free to play games doesn't mean people don't win something if they do well. I mean, you hinted at it, but what can people expect to win when they play on your site?
Yeah, so we'll have monthly tournaments, and ours is pretty different. I mean, you're asking about free-to-play and where it fits in the space, and there are a lot of really great free-to-play games that are out there right now. I think, you know, and this comes from my chemical background, and having something that's very, very unique. You know, having a patent on what we're doing makes us really different. And the idea of driving actual live sports data directly into a poker engine to create a new type of gaming opportunity is very exciting. So we want to be a differentiator, but overall in the space, the free-to-play world really can substantially augment user acquisition and user retention strategies for sports books and other gaming type products.
In terms of growth, what is Play Globally focusing in on the coming year? I mean, I know Europe is big in iGaming. I know Canada just became a leader in iGaming almost overnight. In terms of growth, where do you see your platform?
Yeah, so we're laser focused right now on the release of our Lucky Fans products, specifically for Major League Baseball. We have a really good relationship with Sport Radar, who's been outstanding with us the whole time through all of our testing. We just got approved by Blackhawk Network. I mean, they're a $100 billion company. They handle all of our gift cards and incentives and rewards and all of that. So that's very exciting. You know, we really want to focus on leveraging those relationships, working to develop and optimize our Lucky Fans product over the next year, 18 months. We're rolling out with our sweepstakes in Major League Baseball in a couple of weeks. We are rolling out with the NFL in time for the NFL season, which will be very exciting. We have a NASCAR game that's also very exciting, and NBA. But we can reskin this in a fairly short period of time for the UFC, for horse racing, for Formula, for PGA. So we really want to drive this product. But reskin it for lots of different sports.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards. Hey, this is Dave Weishottle from House of Cards with your House of Cards gaming report for the week of July 18th, 2022. The Las Vegas Strip will soon be home to a new casino resort. Developers broke ground for the new lifestyle hotel and casino called Dream Las Vegas, scheduled to open in late 2024. The property, which carries a price tag of about $550 million and is located near the airport, will have 20 stories, 531 guest rooms and suites, multiple dining and nightlife venues, and a pool deck. Rush Street Interactive launched their online casino and sportsbook in Mexico last week. Rush Street is the first U.S. operator to have an online platform in Mexico. This is the second Latin American country that the Chicago company operates, their first being Colombia, where their sports betting platform launched in 2018. Rush Street Interactive mobile app is now available to 130 million customers in Mexico. And finally, congratulations to Sandra Douglas Morgan on being named president of the Las Vegas Raiders. Ms. Morgan was the city attorney for North Las Vegas and was the first black woman ever to be named chair of the Nevada Gaming Control Board. She is now the first black woman to be president of an NFL team. A great choice by the Raiders. Have any news or tips regarding casinos, gaming, or legislation? Send us an email at newsroom@houseofcardsradio.com and follow us on Twitter at HOC Radio.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Your Majesty, the royal wrestlers await.
I'll bet on the little guy. How much? 3,000 guineas, 2 geese, and a duck. That's a foul bet.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishottle with you. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Stephen Dunham, President and CEO of Play Globally. Now, did I see this right, that people can create their own leagues on your platform?
That's right. Yeah, and that's part of our I mean, it does a couple of things. It really makes it a lot of fun. It's sort of like a fantasy league where you can invite all of your friends and you have your own private league. So yes, you do have the ability to create your own private league, which is just your friends. What that does, too, is it really helps us to lower our user acquisition costs. So if you have a dozen friends and you invite them onto the platform, yes, we paid to get you, but we didn't necessarily pay to get the other 12. And so it lowers our acquisition costs, but it also creates a very interesting new business opportunity that I'm not sure that I've ever seen before. And what that opportunity is what if a brand, let's just take a simple example. What if a sports bar wanted to create its own private league for it to run during a specific game or for a period of time, say a 3-game series, something like that? They create their private league. They can create a QR code so that people at the sports bar can scan in and start playing. They can create their own prize pool as long as it's legal. Then they can within the confines of the law, they can go ahead and give out, kudos of some kind. And they also get an actionable SMS text message link, so they can send that by email or by text to their clientele. So now all of a sudden their entire database of users gets invited to a specific competition that brand or that place of business has created just for their own clientele. It's a private league just for them.
That's such a great idea. I mean, that's the first thing I thought of, too, is sports bars and going against other sports bars. And it's something incredible that they could do. Let me ask you about, every week in the sports betting industry and the fantasy sports industry, you hear about these operators making media deals. Is that something you're looking to do, or have you done it?
Oh, I think that's a great idea. I mean, it's all about broadcasting,
absolutely.
And whether you're an influencer or a broadcaster or a YouTuber or a game like ours, there are opportunities for alignment. And in those cases, 1 + 1 can equal way more than 2. So we're very keen on media opportunities, and there's certainly opportunities for us going forward in that space.
Well, not only the media, I was thinking, my God, professional leagues and colleges and universities would snap this up. I mean, do you see deals like that in your future?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, if you can encourage fan engagement, then that is really the essence of longevity for these leagues and for these teams. Mm. So we have agreements with several of MLB's ball clubs, wow, and that we look very, very closely at where that alignment can happen. I mean, what if the Padres put a giant QR code in the stadium, and they put up, we would cooperate with them, some sort of a big prize. Everybody in the stadium has their own private league in that stadium. I mean, it really drives fan and community involvement, and that's good for everybody.
I'm sitting here in New Jersey, and the first thing I thought of looking at your platform is, we have over 25 online sports books in this state, and they offer the same thing. I mean, take it from me, I read their commercials. It's over and over the same thing. I mean, do you think in the future you could possibly partner with a sportsbook operator, because it's just something unique? It'll using your platform, they would stand out in what I think is a very crowded market.
Yeah, I love where your head's at. That's absolutely our strategy. That is the most important thing for our company, is to stay very unique. And so not only the Lucky Fans development and the IP surrounding that, some of these other strategies with a private league and so forth, and some of our future technologies. We're writing a new patent, and we'll be submitting that within the next several days for some other new things that have never been done before. Yeah, we want to be unique, and we do think that we can bring a lot of value to our brand partners, whether they're sports books or aligned brands of one kind or another. We invite that, and we do have several deals right now that we're very excited about. I mean, we have a deal right now with Sharp App, for example. Mm-hmm. And so Sharp App is an organization that is kind of a knowledge base. It's sort of a master class, if you will, in sports betting. And so our demographics are exactly the same as their demographics. We can feed them leads. They can then convert those leads into their master class. They're also aligned with BetMGM and Caesars and DraftKings and FanDuel and all those other guys. So, yeah, we're already doing that to a certain extent, but we certainly invite additional conversation in that space.
Well, if you liked where my head was at in the last question, one other thing I was thinking about in New Jersey, we have real money legal online poker sites. And without fail, I mean, when I sit and do poker on the internet or online, and same way with my friends and everyone I know, we have it in the living room, and guess what? The ball game is on the TV. And I was thinking, oh my God, what an amazing thing that if I had BetMGM Poker or WSOP or Borgata or Party Poker in New Jersey, and they had a section, I could actually watch the game and play poker and have the poker elements in the game while I'm actually playing traditional poker. Have you ever thought about approaching poker sites, the legal online poker sites?
I love how you think. And Dave, this is why you've been a successful entrepreneur since 2007 and before then, because you are seeing where all the pieces can align. And you're not the only one. I mean, IGT is rolling out this month a product that's very interesting, where you sit down at a poker console. It's Jacks or Better poker machine. And on the same screen is live broadcast sports. Mm-hmm. And right underneath that broadcast are the odds for sports betting.
Yeah.
So you go into any sports bar, and what do you see on the TV? You see sports, you see horse racing, you see NASCAR, and typically you'll see a poker game. So it is all aligned. I think you're onto something. And yes, we are a random number generated product. We are free to play everywhere. Mm-hmm. That said, it is legal in 4 states, I believe, to have a poker-style game like ours.
Wow.
And this is different because you're not flipping cards. You actually see all the cards that are possible. Mm-hmm. You see the cards before there's a turn or a flop or a river or any of that. They're all visible. And so it's very exciting when the batter's at the plate. And if this kid hits a home run, bam, you get 4 of a kind. It changes the whole betting scenario. It's very, very exciting that way. So, yes, let's connect those dots. We'd love to test that out there.
Well, what has been the reaction from the people who have played on your platform? I mean, it's such a unique site, and I'm curious, what were the people saying who actually played on it?
Yeah, well, the feedback we've been getting, I mean, we've been developing this for a very long time, and so we've been constantly adding new features and finding ways to optimize it, and so we really appreciate everybody's feedback. Overwhelmingly, everybody has really, really enjoyed it. I mean, there are things that we've learned. For example, when you're playing a game, and let's say you're in baseball, and all of a sudden they're in between innings, and you have a couple of minutes where nothing's happening, that's dead space. So we're in the broadcasting world, and we need to keep our players engaged and on product. So what we did is we learned from that, and we said, all right, let's put some more games within our game. And so we have several other very cool, very fun to play games that are now being integrated into the game so that we're more engaging and there's more opportunities to win, and it's varied. And we're not just talking about like spin to win or trivia or something. There's some things that are very, very unique. And so we're excited to roll that out on the next iteration.
So give us a snapshot of the coming year. What are your plans for the coming months for your platform?
Yeah, well, first things first. So in a couple of weeks, we just signed our deal with Sport Radar. So we are streaming live data now.
Okay.
We have all of our legal in place. You can imagine, especially given your profession, your background, what's involved with making sure that something like this is legal. And so Greenberg Trauger's done an awesome job for us in making sure all of that's in place. Our sweepstakes is in place. So our first mission is to release the Lucky Fans in time for Major League Baseball's All-Star Game on the 19th. So we want to hit that. It'll probably be about a month-long tournament, and we'll be giving away about $2,500 just for the test. Then from there, we'll optimize it. We'll continue to grow it. We are already in the process of reskinning the product for the NFL. And then we're already ready for the NBA. We could reskin quickly, too, for NHL. So we'll have at least 3 different sports represented by the end of the year. And then going into next year, we'll have larger tournaments, and that's where, players will have an opportunity to qualify for a final round. And in that final round, if they get, say, 4 of a kind or a straight flush or better or something like that, some benchmark like that, on top of the regular winnings that they can win, they could also win a huge amount of money through our sweepstakes and kind of it's a hole-in-one insurance type product. But we guarantee payouts on each of our qualifying rounds. And gosh, if you can sit there, have a good time, watch some sports, and maybe win $100,000 at the same time, then everybody's a winner in that.
Now, your app is available for both Android and Apple, and where can people download that?
Yeah, so the app part of things is going to roll out after the prototype.
Okay.
So, one of the advantages of just picking up your smartphone, going to your Safari browser, your Chrome browser, any browser, and typing in luckyfans.app, you're playing immediately. There's no downloads. There's no friction. You're instantly capable of playing. Once we've worked out all the kinks and we've really optimized the product and it's ready to go into the app stores, then we'll go ahead and do that. I would imagine that that'll be done by probably Q3 or Q4 this year.
Stephen, we're running out of time, but can you give out your website so people can check out Play Globally and Lucky Fans and register and download the app?
Sure, absolutely. Well, luckyfans.app from any handheld cellular device, and you can start playing Lucky Fans right there, luckyfans.app. You'll learn more about the company at playglobally.com, and I'm available on LinkedIn, so I invite anybody who's interested in visiting further to go ahead and reach out to me there.
Stephen Dunham, CEO and President of Play Globally, thank you so much for coming on and telling us about your incredible platform. I absolutely love the uniqueness about it, and it really gives people a great alternative to the traditional poker and sports betting sites. But please come back on and keep us updated about Play Globally and Lucky Fans, because I think it's going to be something big in the near future. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure, Dave. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards.
People gotta win sometime.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a giant, colorful check to deposit.
Beating the House is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Slots, table games, live dealer games, everything you love about Atlantic City and Vegas, all online at BetMGM. Don't wait. Join in the fun now. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Grab a lion's share of the fun at BetMGM.com. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of Beating the House, where we're going to crisscross the country going through the different casino jackpots, slots, table games, bad beats, Pai Gow, which seems to be an awful big popular game to talk about.
We have like Pai Gow every week.
Just about every week.
Every week, really.
This week we don't have any lottery, I'm sorry to say, but we'll get back to those at some point. But we're going to start off just by telling everyone we look forward to getting these press releases from the casinos and lottery departments every week. Keep those coming in. We'll keep doing this segment. The best part about this segment is finding out the new games.
Yeah. Well, I got a question before we start. Is a lot of these jackpots from the 4th of July weekend? No. Okay. No, I was curious to see how like a longer weekend affects the jackpots, because 4th of July was on a Monday. Everyone was off Monday, and a lot of people were probably in the casinos down the shore and
as we're
the casinos around the country and things like that.
For going behind the scenes a little bit, as we're taping this, we're still probably waiting on some July 4th announcements.
Oh, okay. All right.
But no, we have a whole bunch of different ones. There are a couple that happened over July 4th weekend.
Okay.
So again, we're gonna start off. We're going out west.
All right.
And we're not talking Nevada first.
Oh,
we're going to California.
All right.
We're going to Rohnert Park, California.
I have no idea where that is. Where?
The Grayton Casino.
Okay. Still have no idea where that is.
It's, I believe it's Southern California.
Okay.
A lucky player, and this was over the weekend.
All right.
This is one of the July 4th weekend jackpots.
Okay.
Not on July 4th, but over the weekend.
Over the weekend, okay.
A lucky player playing the Double Diamond Deluxe Mega Bucks slot.
Okay.
That's
Double Diamond Deluxe Mega Bucks.
That's a mouthful. But it
sounds familiar.
You've seen it. You've seen it.
I'm sure I have. So.
As a matter of fact, the Double Diamond is one of the classic
I was going to say, I must have heard it somewhere over the years. Yeah.
The Double Diamond Deluxe Mega Bucks is a progressive machine, and also I believe in certain areas, depending on what version of the game you have, it's either 3 or 5 reels.
All right.
And they have multi-denominations, and it's also can be set up as a high-limit slot.
So is that one of those machines that have a ton of variations to it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Nothing like Wheel of Fortune with the 250
right.
variations, but or Divine Fortune, which seems to be getting even more coming out.
Okay.
We have a lucky player playing the Double Diamond Deluxe Mega Bucks slot, as I said, won $3.603 million.
Wow.
No word on what the size of the bet was.
Wow.
And please, casinos, tell us what the bet was.
Yeah,
I like knowing that. I'm
well,
sorry.
I know.
It's a little pet peeve of mine. I like knowing, and I'm sure this will be.
It makes
really
it a better story if they put $1 in and they won $3.6 million
bet.
or something like that.
So
if someone put like $10,000 in a machine to get 3 points, it's still a good deal, but it kind of.
I don't know too many.
Not a great story.
I don't know too many slots that will accept a $10,000.
Yeah, well, I know
bet,
that.
But yeah, it would be nice to know what size bet they place. I mean, normally you see something like this coming out of a $5 bet, maybe $10 bet in some instances.
Well, look, hey, it's certainly the jackpot winner. If they say please don't put a lot of information out,
they may actually,
and casinos do that.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone says, boy, if you won like millions of dollars, why would you get your picture taken with the big check? Well, you know what? The casinos don't force you to do that. They ask permission, so the casinos aren't forcing anyone to put out any information that they don't need to.
You just brought up something I've noticed in the past, and I've never really thought about it. Some of the stories report an anonymous winner.
Yeah.
But then they show the picture of them holding the check.
I haven't seen that.
I've seen that in the past, which is kind of
if you're going to be anonymous,
a long time ago.
You probably don't want your picture taken if you want to be called anonymous.
But I mean, I've seen that. So
casinos are great with that. I mean,
it's incredible,
fantastic.
And also, I'd love to know if he was a member of a loyalty club or whatever those things were they have for Grayton. I don't know if Grayton has a loyalty club.
I think every casino. Every casino.
It's part of the CRM, customer relationship management stuff.
Sure.
So, but again, $3.6 million. We're starting off with a big number.
That's
this
a
week.
big number.
Going over to Nevada. We have the Emerald Island Casino in Henderson, Nevada.
In Henderson, all right.
They released the amount that they've given out over the last week. So they didn't do any specific ones.
So this is Emerald Island.
This is Emerald Island Casino.
In Henderson.
Slot players have won over $500,000 in hand-paid jackpots alone. Now, what that means is they didn't have to go to the cashier to get it.
Okay.
They just went and took their slips.
All right.
And went to the machines. That's $527,369.87 to be exact.
And that's 1 week.
That's 1 week.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And that shows you kind of traffic Henderson gets.
Yeah.
I've actually never been to Henderson.
No.
I've never been to any of the casinos there. It's supposed to be a really fun town.
I get a lot of emails. You're talking about the loyalty clubs, I think
or the newsletters,
Caesars and stuff like that. They have a lot of room deals in Henderson. I've never taken them up on it, but it's very reasonable to stay in Henderson. You just got to get to Henderson,
yes.
But no, it looks like it's a pretty cool place to go.
As a matter of fact, one of the ones I get all the time is Golden Nugget.
Okay.
They have ones in Henderson, Laughlin.
Laughlin's another one, yeah.
Yes,
you mentioned that, yeah.
But
I've never been to Laughlin. I don't even know where Laughlin is.
It's one of those things where I actually start looking at the newsletters, not just for the room rate deals that they're offering or whatever they're offering in the newsletter, but I'm looking at the locations.
By the way, Henderson and Laughlin have some great room rates.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dirt cheap room rates. I mean,
I think I've seen them as low as 29 here, 39 there.
They're really, really good.
Yeah, and that's the key to signing. Sign up for the newsletters. I mean, you see these room rates come, these deals that come only in the newsletters. So that's a benefit to a customer. Okay. If you're going out to Nevada, sign up for those.
Sure, absolutely.
We're going over to the Four Winds New Buffalo Casino. The Pokégon band of Potawatomi's Four Wind Casinos announced that a patron who wished to remain anonymous made a $5 bet playing the cash wheel slot machine at Four Winds New Buffalo.
All right.
Won $507,331.
Wow. See, that's a great story. Yes. A $5 bet, and they turned it into $507,000.
I like I said, I like knowing the size of the bet. It actually makes some of these numbers seem even that much more impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at a $3.6 million jackpot, I'd like to know what the size of it.
Sure.
But when you go down to like $100,000,
even $500,000, like in where was this? I don't even know.
Four Winds Casino in New Buffalo.
Yeah, $5 bet. Yeah, perfect.
Yes, $5 bet. It was on June 25th, $507,331 progressive jackpot playing the cash wheel at Four Winds, New Buffalo. Oh. So that was actually kind of a big amount. I was at 100,000 times.
Yeah, that's a good investment.
We're going out to Arkansas now.
Arkansas.
Have
we had
never had an Arkansas one.
Okay.
No, that's why I grabbed it.
All right.
At the Saracen Casino in Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
All right.
We have a $310,816 jackpot playing the blackjack progressive game at Saracen Casino.
So that's a table game.
That's a table game.
Okay.
That's a table game.
All right. So
that was the first one. I had to include. I've never had an Arkansas casino in this report before, so I had to include something.
I hope we have more from Arkansas.
They've got some great casinos, and Saracen is one of the casinos that has an online sports book too.
Okay.
Arkansas just allowed mobile sports betting.
Now, is that one of those online sports where you have to be on the property?
No.
Okay, so that's okay.
Yeah,
Good.
There's only 3 online sports books, right? 2 or 3,
okay.
And Saracen is one of them. They actually even have they have actually one of the first retail sports books.
Okay.
In that state too. It's not a huge casino. It's a good sized casino.
Yeah.
But it's actually well run, and it's always making headlines in terms of whatever they're doing. They're always one of the first ones to do something in Arkansas.
Yeah, I don't like these huge casinos. I like the kind of smaller ones. They're a lot more comfortable for some reason. I'm sure it's psychological, but It's a nice, comfortable, smaller size casino. You can play, you can go to a sports book, you can have restaurants in there, but it's not enormous. Man, I went to Foxwoods one time. That's attached to a mall, and it's just
that's a little
wide.
overwhelming.
Jeez. It's huge.
Well, at least
it's too big. It's too big.
Well, it's almost like where you have in Atlantic City, you have the Tanger outlets outside the casinos.
Sure.
That's kind of what they have with Foxwood. They have one of those attached to it.
Yeah, but it's indoors.
It's indoors.
Yeah.
So. I mean, it's a nice feature. I mean, because really, you get outside that casino, that town, there's nothing to do.
Well, you drive 10 minutes and go to Mohegan Sun.
It's not 10 minutes.
It's not 10 minutes?
It's about 15, 20.
Okay.
Yeah,
well.
So there's no way you can walk.
I guess I was
to
driving
casino.
fast.
Yeah. We're leaving Arkansas and going back out west, back to California.
Okay.
And I did these in decreasing order in terms of how much people want.
Oh, okay.
So if you're wondering why I'm hopping all around today. Temecula, California, the Pachanga Casino.
All right. I've heard of that. Never been there, but I've heard of it.
We're going to have our first Aristocrat game. Lucky player hit $180,476 jackpot playing Aristocrat's Dollar Storm Emperor's Treasure slot machine.
Okay.
I've actually seen this game, and I've seen some of the other variations on Dollar Storm. This was actually the first title in the Dollar Storm family for Aristocrat.
Okay.
And as you can tell, Emperor's Treasure has a lot to do with royalty. There's royal symbols all over the place. And
okay.
It's multi-denomination, and it has a high limit setting of only $5. So if you go to a high limit room, you'll be able to see maybe this game there set at a $5 bet kind of thing.
All right.
But no word on what the bet was here either.
Okay.
That's annoying, people.
I don't mind. I mean,
I'm joking around.
I'm just saying it makes the story more interesting if it was such a low bet and it's a high yield. But.
Next stop on the tour, Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have the Osage Casino Hotel. The jackpot winner of $104,470 on July 1st played the Polar High Roller free spinning slot machine.
Wow, what the Polar?
That's a long
what?
name.
Polar what?
The Polar High Roller free spinning slot machine.
All right, okay.
And I'm making it sound rhyming, but I guess that's how you're supposed to say it. The Polar High Roller. It kind of flows off the tongue that way. Video Game Technologies makes the game. It has a polar bear theme, obviously.
Oh, well, I was wondering. I didn't know if it was a polar bear or was like...
You mean igloos?
Like, igloos or like...
No, it's a polar bear theme.
Icebergs or something like that. Something polar.
But the Polar High Roller, the game Polar High Roller is a 3-reeler.
Mm-hmm.
Polar High Roller free spinning is a 5-reel.
Okay.
So that's how you tell the difference between the two. Multi-denomination, 1 cent, 2 cent, all the way up to $25.
Oh, okay.
And the top payout for any bet is 392,000 credits. I went to the manufacturer page and took a look at this because I never heard of the game before.
All right. It's one of those things where I'll do a search and see if they have online Polar High Roller free spin and slot machines online. So
I've actually never seen a Polar High Roller.
I never looked
online.
for it.
I know it's in the retail casino.
Well, look, that's the great thing about this segment. I get to learn about slot machines and see if they're online.
Well, we're going back to Michigan for Four Winds. Four Winds Hartford this time.
See, I didn't know Michigan had a town called Hartford.
I think every state's got a Hartford.
Hartford.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's Princeton, Massachusetts.
Princeton, Massachusetts. Yeah, there's Philadelphia. Where the hell is that? Mississippi, or is one of the southern
There's
states?
a West New York, New Jersey.
Yeah, there's a town in New Jersey called West New York.
So
there's a lack of creativity.
What are you going to do? I mean,
they are kind of west of New York City, so
yes.
I guess that's
that's the creativity part.
Yeah, I guess so. It's the name and the direction.
But going past our geography critique here,
yep.
Hartford, Michigan, Four Winds Hartford. We have a guest who chose to remain anonymous from Paw Paw, Michigan.
Paw Paw
won $102,103 progressive jackpot on June 28th.
Okay,
playing the Quick Hits Pro at Four Winds Hartford on a $2 bet.
See, there you got your bet there.
I got my bet in.
Yeah, $2 bet, and they won $102,000.
See, that makes it sound more dramatic. $2 bet, you win $102,000.
Yeah.
You're
looking
really,
for the drama of the story.
Yes, yes. Going to end this segment with a whole bunch of New Jersey jackpots.
Okay.
Starting back on June 9th. Every 2 weeks I do this.
Okay.
At least I think I do it every 2
So
weeks.
do they
I'm losing track of how often I do this.
a jackpot dump? Yes, news-wise.
I'm sure they don't like it being called a jackpot dump. But
we'll just get all the jackpots every 2 weeks.
The Division of Gaming Enforcement puts it out, and they start at 50,000.
Their jackpot dump.
Yes, they start at 50,000 per jackpot.
Okay,
I start at 100,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'd be here all day just doing New Jersey jackpots. They happen all the time. June 9th, $184,671 at Unibet, online at Unibet, playing Scientific Games Medusa Megaways.
All right.
Very fun game to play, by the way. I played that one. June 10th, we have several happening on June 10th.
What was June 10th, for God's sake?
It was obviously a good payday for some people.
Yeah.
$131,269 on FanDuel Casino playing Mercy of the Gods from NetEnt.
Okay.
I played that game as well. That's actually kind of a fun game to play. It's mythology-based. Going over to $240,000 at Hard Rock. This was the brick and mortar.
Okay.
Playing IGT's Double Diamond Deluxe.
All right.
We just talked about that at the beginning of the segment.
Sure.
$250,000 on PlayMGMCasino.com playing Dancing Drums Explosion Mega Drop. Mm-hmm. There's another variation on the Dancing Drums Explosion.
Okay.
And ending on June 10th, the last big jackpot, over $100,000. $103,879 on PlayMGM, playing Inspired's Desperados Wild Megaways.
Okay.
That's a Wild West theme one, obviously.
I gotta figure that.
June 14th, $101,420 on MohicanSunCasino.com.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Playing NetEnt's Riches of Midgard Land Expand.
All right.
That's a Thor type game.
Okay.
Norse mythology.
All right.
June 15th, $250,000 on BorgataCasino.com, playing the Double Diamond from IGT. Double Diamond seems to pay out a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
June 16th, we had a couple there, $187,278 at Ocean Casino Resort, playing the Caribbean Gold Dollar Storm game. There's another variation on the Dollar Storm.
Okay.
And $240,000 at BorgataCasino.com, the online, playing B-Win's Jacks Are Better. That was a video poker.
All right.
June 17th, $200,000 at ResortsCasino.com, playing Five Treasures. June 18th, $120,000 at Harris, brick and mortar, playing double red, white, and blue slot. $134,000 at Betfair Casino. That's the online side. Mm-hmm. Divine Fortune.
Okay.
$105,036 at Borgata, the brick and mortar, playing a Lightning Link at the brick and mortar Borgata Casino.
Okay.
A couple more real quick. June 19th, $100,000 at HardRockCasino.com, the online site, playing Apollo Stacks. And then we had two jackpots at Caesars, the brick and mortar.
Brick and mortar, okay.
$108,000 each.
Wow. All right.
IGT's Triple Double Diamond.
Huh, okay.
June 25th, we've got $107,400 at Ocean Casino again, playing the Dollar Storm machine from Aristocrat.
All right.
$204,000 at Borgata Casino Online, playing Wheel of Fortune on-air mega jackpot.
I was waiting to hear Wheel of Fortune. Anytime
One of
you
the
hear
250
talk about
versions
jackpots,
of
you hear Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah. June 26th, $132,000 at Caesars in Atlantic City, playing Bally's Locket Link Piggy Banking.
Okay.
That's the one that has the piggy bank theme on it. It's an actual pig image that when you get to the bonus, the winds go into the piggy bank, and it expands until it explodes.
Okay.
And then the money rains down on you.
Okay.
June 27th, $100,000 a Play MGM Casino, playing 5 Treasures. That's the online. And we're going to finish up here on BetfairCasino.com. June 28th, $266,509, playing Mercy of the Gods from NetEnt.
All right.
So that's it for this week's roundup of casino and casino jackpot slots. No Pie Gow or Bad Beat this time.
No, okay.
So we'll have some of those probably next week. There's always some kind of a Bad Beat or a Pie Gow jackpot happening. But that's it. Keep the press releases coming in, and we will keep doing this segment and, learning about these different games and also seeing some of the casinos, too.
Well, that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the radio with House of Cards.
Drag us by the chain.